Peace, and ascension. What is good, Ethereans and co-creators? Welcome to the channel. Come on in here. Take your shoes off ground. Welcome if this is your first time seeing me. Welcome. I am Monica, and this is Muse by Monica. And if you're returning, welcome back to the channel. We today, as you guys can see, are going to talk about something very, very unique and special, and something that has kind of been in my aura, in my atmosphere for quite some time now, for quite some years. But as we evolve as a collective, as we evolve as Ethereans, co-creators, as we all elevate along in our spiritual journey, I am learning that more of us are uncovering the link or the connection between the neurodivergent and spirituality. Okay, so that is exactly what we are talking about today. So if you are unfamiliar with what any of that means, or if you are here because you were drawn to learn more about neurodivergence and spirituality, or the link between the two, welcome. You have come to the right place. Thank you for being here to check out this video and what it is I have to say about this. Okay, so if you find that you resonate with any of the energy, if you find it useful, helpful, feel free to share it, like, share, comment, subscribe. All right, and join me on this journey as we elevate and co-create our lives together here. Okay, so let's go and set the intentions for today's video. Like I said, we are going to talk about what spirituality is, neurodivergency, and how they are linked together here. Okay. If you have not already previously seen the video, the TikTok compilation I have put together talking about spirituality and neurodivergence, make sure you guys go check that out, because that will also provide you guys with some more perspective on what it is that we're talking about here today. Okay, so strap in, tap in. All right, like I said, take your shoes off ground. We are going to settle in here into this energy so that we can raise our frequency. All right, so if you're interested in any of this information, stay tuned. Okay, so if we're talking about spirituality in its essence, if we want to define spirituality, we want to define spirituality as recognizing or celebrating and all encompassing that we are intrinsically connected to one another. All right, we are all connected on a soul level. We are all interconnected. We all share these certain frequencies and vibrations together here, and we are all connected to a higher source or a higher power. All right, if you are a spiritual being, you are not necessarily connected to anything religious. You don't necessarily prescribe to certain rules and philosophies. You kind of take things, kind of take concepts and beliefs that resonate most with you and your soul, and you go forth in your spiritual journey. All right, you not only see yourself as a connection to source, but you also see yourself in connections to others, as well as to nature and the planets and to things all encompassing around you. Okay, now if we want to define what a neurodivergent is, we can define neurodivergence as exactly what it sounds like. Okay, if we know what the divergent is, it is someone who thinks outside of the box, who thinks a little bit differently from the norm here. Okay, so we can define a neurodivergent as someone whose brain typically functions or processes information, learns or behaves differently than what a neurotypical or what somebody normal would typically be considered here. All right, so there is kind of these concepts, there are these differences that are not deficiencies or disorders, but are rather natural differences in brain function here. Okay, so if we want to connect the dots between what spirituality is and neurodivergency is, let's get into it. All right, guys, so again, if you are here on this video, you are resonating with me. You are most likely someone who is on a very spiritual journey. You resonate as someone who is an empath, light worker, starseed. You are someone who identifies as someone who likes to raise the frequency or the vibrations of the planet, okay? And if you are someone who identifies with these traits or these features, you may have also been someone who is very attracted to things like magic or occultism, or attracted to things like spirituality and things that are very natural, herbs, natural and healthy living. Okay, so we can also see that there is a direct link between the people who identify in the spiritual aspect as those who are labeled as neurodivergent or those who think non-typical. Okay, now simply based on what I said, the things that spiritual or spiritualists are into are things that are not typical, okay? The normal thing to do is to be into religions, hardcore religions, Christianity, Islamic, Muslim, okay, things that go after writings or teachings that are within a book, after writing or teachings that have been passed down through generations, through cultures, through different learning practices here, okay? So we want to connect people who are spiritual and people who are neurodivergent. We already see that there is a connection or there is a link to those who think outside of the box or who think differently or who want to prescribe or follow different belief systems or norms than what the normal people do here, okay? So the connection between these two is very simple, and it is just based off of a very unique and deeply personal connection, often shaped by the way that neurodivergents experience the world, the way that they think, and the way that they process emotions here, okay? So we're going to go over a list of a few ways that spirituality and neurodivergence are connected, okay? So the first one, okay, there's a heightened sensitivity and awareness. The first link between spirituality and a neurodivergent is a heightened sensitivity and awareness here, okay? Neurodivergent people, such as those with autism, ADHD, and other conditions, often experience heightened sensitivity to their environment. They can experience heightened sensitivity to environment, emotions, and energy around them. They can be more attuned to spiritual or metaphysical experiences such as connecting with nature, meditating, or sensing energies. For some, this heightened awareness leads to profound spiritual insights or a unique way of interpreting spiritual concepts. Another connection between neurodivergence and spirituality is the unique perspectives that they take on spirituality. Many neurodivergent individuals approach spirituality unconventionally. Their thinking may challenge traditional spiritual frameworks and encourage creative interpretations or teachings. Neurodivergence may focus more on aspects of spirituality that may align with their thinking, their natural ways of thinking or inclinations, such as the way that they manifest rituals or symbolical thinking. Another way that spirituality and neurodivergence are connected is the way that they connect to nature and solitude. Neurodivergent and spiritual people very much love to be in nature. Like I said, they love to be in nature, connect with nature, herbs, fruit, vegetables, perhaps even gardening. They are even perhaps vegan for the save the planet, for the save the animals sake here, okay? Neurodivergent individuals often like to find solace in nature or in solitary activities, which can create opportunities for introspection and spiritual connection, like walking in the forest, stargazing, or engaging with animals can feel deeply spiritual and grounding. Okay, so you can typically see those with neurodivergency who have a strong connection with animals, who you can see animals drawn to them, or very young children here, okay? Because if you are someone who is very much into the spiritual realm, you know that animals and babies are the closest to the spirit realm. They are the ones that can communicate easiest with the spirit realm. So neurodivergent individuals are usually very close connected to spirituality because they resonate with the same need for solitude, the need to be kind of introverted to themselves alone in order to connect with themselves here, and in order to introspect. And usually the best way to do that is through nature, all right, walking in the forest, getting grounded, feeling the grass, feeling the trees, feeling the wind, or going out at night, stargazing, looking at the planets, seeing what's going on. I'm always looking up, all right? You can never not find me looking up, even during the day. I'm looking up, looking at the clouds, looking at the sky, what's going on here, okay? And I've had a career for almost 10 years where I was working with animals, where I was working with dogs. So there's a deep connection between the way that I do things. And even in my career, I was always finding ways to incorporate spirituality within my work. All right, even with what I'm doing now, I'm finding ways to incorporate nature or natural ways, natural remedies into my work here. Okay, so moving on. Another way that neurodivergence and spirituality is connected is their non-traditional practices here. Okay, so like I was stating before, spirituality is something where it is not traditional. There aren't a certain set of rules. There isn't a book. There isn't guidelines that you typically follow. There are certain principles or laws that spirituality has, that we kind of delve into, but there is not anything in traditional sense, unless, of course, you are following traditions of practices such as hoodoo, or even of your culture, of a certain culture, rituals, ancestral rituals, where you are presenting certain herbs and offerings to your ancestors here, okay? So when it comes to the non-traditional practices, traditional religious practices might feel inaccessible or overwhelming due to sensory sensitivities or the structured environment, okay? As a result, many neurodivergent individuals develop personalized practices, spiritual practices, such as creating their own rituals, exploring astrology, working with crystals, or using sound and movement for self-expression here. All right, so some other ways that spirituality and neurodivergence are connected is through the therapeutic role of spirituality. Okay, so spiritual practices like mindfulness, meditation, and grounding usually can help neurodivergent individuals who regulate or who struggle to regulate their emotions. It can help them to reduce anxiety and to process sensory overload. These practices offer tools for self-care and resilience. Spirituality can also provide a sense of purpose and healing, especially in a world that may feel always inconclusive. Okay, so another way that spirituality and neurodivergence can connect is their struggles with dogma. Okay, dogma is this rigid religious or this very structured thing where rigid religion and spiritual structures can feel restrictive to neurodivergence. Okay, individuals who value their authenticity and autonomy. Okay, neurodivergents very much like to be authentic, true to themselves. They don't have to follow the norm. They don't have to force themselves to fit in, because they know that they are already different from the norm. They know that they already think different from the norm, okay? Many find comfort in spirituality because it encourages the exploration, freedom, and acceptance rather than those strict rules or hierarchies, which typically place rules on or regulations on who can be where, who can sit with us. Okay. We can also find that spirituality and neurodivergence are connected through community and inclusivity. Exactly what I said in what we're talking about when we're talking about religion and feeling a little stifled in those structured systems. On the other end, neurodivergence can build a spiritual community together where they can feel welcome and feel more transformative. They can relate to one another. These communities can offer a safe space for self expression and shared understanding without fear of judgment. When you have these communities of safe space, when you are in communities where You understand kind of these otherworldly, kind of normal, kind of crazy things. You feel a little bit more included in certain spaces here. Okay. Now, the biggest one, like I was saying here, neurodivergence and spirituality is connected because of astrology. A lot of neurodivergents are attracted or drawn to astrology here, okay? The study of cycles and planets and movements and transits, okay? Many neurodivergent individuals resonate with astrology as a form of self exploration. Astrology gives neurodivergents or provides them a language in order to understand their unique traits and experiences, in order to also help foster a sense of self acceptance. Now that we know a little bit more about how astrology and neurodivergence are connected, or we know that they are very much connected, let's dig a little bit deeper into astrology and neurodivergence, okay? Because astrology can be a powerful and validating tool for neurodivergent individuals, offering insight and structure and a sense of connection to their unique traits and life experiences. It is very important for us to go over that, okay? So stay tuned. All right, co-creators. So let's get into how astrology and neurodivergency is linked, okay? The first way that they are linked is through self-acceptance and understanding. Neurodivergent individuals often feel misunderstood or judged for being different. Astrology provides a framework for understanding personality traits, behaviors, and tendencies without labeling them as wrong. For example, a highly sensitive person with heightened intuition might feel a lot of validation in a strong Pisces or Cancer influence in their chart. This also leads us into energy awareness. Neurodivergent people often report being highly attuned to energy shifts or the energy shifts of the environment around them or within themselves. Astrology offers again a language for these experiences, such as the feelings of retrograde or full moons. If we are connecting how full moons, retrogrades, strong planetary conjunctions, shifts, trines, or squares are affecting us on an energetic level, then we can also understand, or gives us a little bit of leeway or understanding as to why we move or think that the way that we think, which is different. Neurodivergence may also use astrology to prepare for challenging energetic periods like Mercury retrogrades, or to harness high energy moments like new moons and setting intentions. So, like we do on this channel all the time, guys, as I'm starting to do more of getting into these transits, is very important for us to understand how these planets or how these planetary shifts are going to affect us, and how our heightened emotional states or our heightened emotional awareness is going to affect us as a collective and on a personal level. We can see a link of planetary influence on neurodiversities as well. Certain astrological placements and patterns might resonate deeply with neurodivergent traits. Mercury, which governs communication and cognition, aspects to Mercury can highlight unique ways of thinking, speaking, and processing information. Uranus, associated with innovation, rebellion, and breaking norms. This strong Uranian energy often correlates with non traditional thinking, creativity, and a sense of different. All right? If you have Chiron placements, this is known as the wounded healer. It represents areas of deep sensitivity and healing potential, often resonating with the challenges and gifts of neurodivergent individuals. Those with Neptune or Pisces placements can often link their sensitivity, intuition, and imagination to these placements, which can highlight why they have such emotional depth and creativity, but also feel or be overwhelmed easily. Another way that these are connected is for astrology and emotional validation. Astrology and neurodivergence go together because we can link transits or progressions, which can help explain shifts in our moods, energy, or focus, often offering us reassurance that fluctuations are natural and temporary. when we can understand that the phases of the moon, or even the phases or the cycles of these planets, have their own unique path, then we can correlate that to ourselves and look at ourselves on a concept, on a universal concept, as above, so below. We can feel like we are not so small or minute, that we have some tiny sense of purpose without here among the norm. For example, understanding the emotional intensity of a lunar eclipse or Saturn return can provide a little bit of context and allow us coping strategies. Now, another link that we can do, which we see on this channel, is the link between herbs and astrology for neurodivergence. Neurodivergent individuals might often explore herbal remedies linked to astrology, such as calming herbs for Cancer or Virgo placements, or stimulating herbs for those fiery Aries and Sagittarius energies. The connections can offer holistic ways to support mental and emotional well-being. Like we mentioned previously, the astrology and neurodivergency, it also has a link in the sense that neurodivergents can personalize their spiritual practices. Unlike traditional practices, spirituality, you can create your own rituals, meditation practices. You can journal or meditate during specific moon phases, during specific transits, or you can even often journal based on your birth chart. You can use tools like tactical representations, such as crystals linked to zodiac signs, or visual aids like color-coded charts, to make astrology a lot more accessible. Now, the structure of astrology, the structured nature of astrology, it allows neurodivergents to look at it in a lens where they are looking at it for its patterns, its cycles, and its systems. This can resonate with those who find comfort in routine and organization. Simultaneously, it is very vast and it has infinite possibilities for interpretation, which encourage creativity, allowing a neurodivergent individual to explore their intuition and their own unique viewpoints. You don't have to so much be stifled by one unique view, by one unique perspective. You don't have to be limited by this is what this person said, this is what this person taught. This is the only way that we can do it. There's no more room for growth or improvement or transformation. The ability that astrology provides us, this openness, this vastness, we can connect to our own intuition and use that for our own personal growth. Another way neurodivergents can use astrology is for their grounding and healing practices. Astrology can help neurodivergent individuals develop grounding rituals that are aligned with celestial movements. For example, new moons are for setting intentions and calming the mind. Full moons would be for releasing an overwhelm or celebrating achievements. Incorporating herbs with each zodiac signs, like lavender for Virgo or chamomile for Cancer, can offer sensory and emotional support. Understanding a strong Mercury placement might explain a fast-paced mind, or even recognizing a watery moon sign can validate why you have such emotional depth and the need to introspect so much. Alright guys, so that is basically the video. So if you found this information helpful, please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know that you see me so that I see you. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please make sure to share if you know anyone who is not neurodivergent. I also wanted to just let everyone know that I want to thank you guys for getting me to as many subscribers as I have. That you guys are the one who have motivated me or inspired me to do this video. So if you know anyone with neurodivergent or is neurospicy, please feel free to share this video, share this energy with them. Okay. And again, thank you for being here for this video. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Until next time.